Hi, my name is Asia Imtiaz, and for my final assignment, I decided to create a sign-up form. We run into sign-up forms on almost a daily basis. When you're shopping online, when you want to check your bank statements, when you're logging into your school account, whatever it is, most of the time you have to sign up or log in to access these platforms. I decided to create a basic yet accessible sign-up form that is helpful to all users. I recently had a doctor's appointment and they had me check into my appointment online. I input all my information and I hit enter, but when I did that, it just took me back to the beginning of the form. I wasn't sure if the form actually went through since there was no confirmation and I had to go to the front desk to find out if it did. I made sure to take this and other web accessibility guidelines into consideration when designing my own form, because if someone with no impairments can have an issue like this, imagine people with impairments. I also made sure that my form has a high contrast by using dark colored text against a light colored background. I made sure that the font being used is standard and easy to read and in a proper hierarchy. I made sure that all buttons are labeled correctly and stand out, and I did not use any placeholder text since it disappears when you type into the field, which can be pretty confusing for screen reader users. These are all important factors in having a visually accessible feature. So let me go ahead and fill out the fields. I'm just using a very basic, non-important password to me. We can view it, we can hide it. After I did that, I'm going to click Create an Account. And then it will take me to a confirmation page that says I have successfully signed up. Confirmation messages are not only important, but accessible because it helps convey a clear message that the sign up portion was done correctly, which is also important to people with cognitive and learning impairments. So let's log back out. So let's re-enter our information, but let's say we forgot to enter a field. After we click Create an Account, we see an error message will pop up below that field or multiple fields. You see how I didn't enter anything and it highlighted the field red and it displayed an error message? A red field is universally known to be understood that something was input incorrectly, but it's also important to have a clear error message, as it is not only vital for people with cognitive or learning disabilities who may have a hard time understanding certain messages, but it's also vital for users who may be colorblind and not be able to recognize a red outline field. So let's re-enter our information again, and let's say I do input something in every field, but the information I input doesn't match what is required. For example, watch as I enter all my information in, but for the email, I forget to input the @ symbol. I click Create an Account, and again, an error message will pop up, and it will then give me an example of what a valid email address is. And then I will see I entered my information wrong and that I forgot the @ sign. If I made any type of similar error, like only making my password 6 characters instead of 8, or if my password doesn't match my confirmed password, an error message will pop up for all of those things, telling you what went wrong and how to fix it. Next, let's say you already have an account. You would click the Login button at the bottom, and it will take you to the login page. Here, you would do the same thing by inputting your existing credentials and then click Login. Then another confirmation will pop up saying that you successfully logged in. Typically, it would take you to the homepage of whatever platform you're logging into, but for the sake of this assignment, I just navigated the login button to a confirmation page since I did not create a fully fleshed out website, but just an interactive form. So let's log back out and go back to the login page. So let's say I put my credentials in incorrectly this time. I clicked login and it did the same thing that I did on the sign up page and highlight the incorrect fields and gave an error message on what needs to be done. I feel like all of these factors I have taken into consideration has made my form incredibly accessible. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.